Tonight I am making a somewhat healthy dinner, but it is kid approved, so everyone in my house will eat it, which is something that's really exciting because that's hard to do. But here we go. Pardon my cookware. This isn't exactly the newest set of cookware because mine's in storage. Saute some onions, salt and pepper, and a little olive oil. If I have fresh garlic, I'll chop some of that and put it in, but I don't have any fresh garlic right now. I do have some minced garlic from Trader Joe's though, so I'll be putting some of that in later. But then I just chop up some sausage. I got this most recently at Whole Foods, organic mild Italian chicken sausage. If you OBN, engaging is on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. I make sure to give my sausage and onions a good stir. My water's now boiling in the back, so I'm going to put my pasta in. I like to try different kinds of pastas, especially ones that have nutrients or vegetables of some kind, just so I can try to squeeze as much veggies or whatever into my kids' diets as possible, especially for my daughter who is super picky and hard to please. But tonight I'm using this. I've never tried it before. Tolerant Organic Green Lentil Rotini. See, the only ingredient is organic green lentil flour. Now this does still have a lot of calories and carbs, so for me personally, I'll try to eat as little of the pasta as possible. But this way, they're at least getting some nutrients, which I like. And yes, I know I need to clean my stove. Haha. But that's the problem with the white stove, is you have to clean it constantly. I'm like scrubbing it with all kinds of stuff and lots of elbow grease, like at least once a month. I mean, I wipe it down pretty much every day after I cook, but I have to scrub it minimum once a month. Now that my sausage is starting to cook, I would say it's about halfway done. I'm going to chop up my veggies and throw those in. You can put in whatever vegetables you want. I usually put in a tomato, a yellow squash, and a zucchini because I feel like it goes with the whole Italian vibe. Give the tomato a stir. And it kind of, every time you stir it helps keep things from sticking in the bottom, especially that onion. If you don't keep it stirred, it will stick. Alright, zucchini and squash coming up. Let your emotion follow me. Open up. Okay, I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. Some more, I should say. But don't worry about Gwen, she's fine. She's just playing pretend. Give this a stir. I'm going to let these veggies cook down a little bit before I add my sauce. I'm adding a little bit of Italian seasoning and a little bit of that minced garlic I was talking about. I like to keep this in the fridge for whenever I don't have fresh garlic because it lasts a pretty good long time. They sell it pretty much everywhere. I just happened to get it when I was at Trader Joe's the last time. But I'm going to put probably about a teaspoon in there. I mean, you just put as much as you want, however garlicky you want your meal to be. Alright, added my Italian seasoning and my minced garlic. I'm also going to add just a tiny bit of cayenne to give it a little bit of a kick. I mean, we are from Louisiana. Now I'm adding my sauce. I like to try different sauces as well. I don't really have one that I stick to. This is just one I picked up while I was at Target the other day. Simply Balanced Organic Roasted Garlic. Gonna let this heat up for 2 or 3 minutes. And one thing I always do is add a little of the pasta water that I had saved into the sauce. Now I'm gonna add my pasta in, give it all a big stir, and it's ready. I don't have pasta bowls, so whenever I make pasta, I usually use these gumbo bowls. They work just as well. Sprinkle a little Parmesan on top, and it's ready. And if you live in the South, you know what this is. Tony Sashers, we put this on everything. But I normally don't cook with it because I don't want it too spicy for the kids' tummies. But we definitely sprinkle some of this on top. I have to talk kind of quiet now because the kids are in bed sleeping. But I hope you can hear me. We had this green lentil pasta with our dinner. And it was actually pretty good. I got it at Whole Foods. Since I'm trying to eat less carbs, I mean, it is still pasta, so it's you know, pretty high in calories and pretty high in carbs. So on my plate, I took out as much of the pasta as I could so that I was eating mostly veggies and the sausage. But yeah, pretty good. Pardon my face, but we just came inside from swimming, so that's why I look like this. But this next one is very much kid approved. It's not quite as healthy as the first meal, but the kids will eat it, so it's still a win. But if you've ever made Hamburger Helper, I guess it's kind of a version of that, but much healthier because it's not that packaged stuff. And I'm using ground turkey instead of ground beef. I'm going to add in some tomatoes and some broccoli at the end. First thing I'm going to do is cook this ground turkey in some olive oil with some onion and garlic. I'm going to start by chopping up this medium yellow onion and adding that into the olive oil. If you OPN, engaging is on my agenda. Request my chariot, get ya. The door's OPN. Take that hot road. But I'm stirring up my onions. I added in a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna let those cook down just for a minute or two. I've added in my ground turkey, and now I'm going to add some salt on top of the meat and some pepper. I'm adding in about a teaspoon of that minced garlic. Mixing this all together nicely, and then I'm gonna let that cook until the meat is fully browned. While my meat is cooking down, I'm going to chop my broccoli up as small and finely as physically possible, because if you have a picky eater like my daughter, if she spots anything green in her meal, she will pick it out. Make sure the children in the house, she's inappropriate. The way she's approaching us, I disassociate. Exfoliate, the renegotiate. She's closing up. Come to visit me, she said that she be prepared to clean up broccoli confetti when you're done cooking, because obviously it kind of goes everywhere. Alright, my water is boiling, so now I'm going to add my pasta. I use this Annie's Homegrown brand. We love this brand. They make a lot of organic stuff that's reasonably priced. This isn't fully organic, but it is made with organic pasta, and Target often has these on sale for 99 cents a box, and that's normally when we buy them, and we buy like 10 when they go on sale for $1 a piece. Looks like my meat is finished cooking through, so now I'm going to drain it. I'm going to add some tomatoes in with my meat. If I had a fresh tomato, I would cut that up and add it in, but I don't have any fresh tomatoes right now. I ran out, so I'm going to use this just canned diced tomatoes. Now I'm going to stir this in. Okay, I let my tomatoes cook down for about 2 minutes, and now I'm going to add my broccoli. Since I chopped up the broccoli so finely, it really doesn't need a lot of time. That's why I saved it for last. Now that I've added everything in and mixed everything all together, I'm going to let that cook for about 3 minutes, stirring occasionally. Looks like my pasta's ready, so I'm going to drain that and make the macaroni. And for whatever macaroni you make, just follow the directions on the box. So add in my butter and my milk. Now I'm going to sprinkle on this cheese and stir it all together to make the macaroni. While I was making my macaroni, I still stirred this too. What, buddy? I still stirred this 2 or 3 times to make sure everything cooks evenly. And now that my macaroni is ready, I'm going to add it right into this pot. Alright, I turned my fire all the way to low, and I've been stirring this all up. But once I stir this in, it's finished, and I shut my fire off, and I make plates. Here it is all finished. If you're not watching your diet, you could add a spoon of sour cream and a little sprinkle of cheese, and that would be delicious, but I'm trying to be much better about what I eat, so I'm not going to do that, and I just gave myself a small portion. The last meal that I made, I was able to pick out a majority of the pasta so that I wasn't really eating that many carbs. It's kind of too hard to do that with this one. Tonight's kid-friendly meal is crock pot chicken tacos. So I took my chicken breasts, I had boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I took that out of the freezer this morning and just kind of let it thaw out. And now it's not room temperature, it's still cold, but it's not frozen anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in my crock pot. It's boneless, skinless breasts that I had from Fresh Market that I bought last week. I just pulled it out of the freezer. Some salt on my chicken, some pepper, pretty much start everything with salt and pepper, right? Alright, then I'm going to add some garlic powder, some cayenne, and some cumin. And I have this in the fridge, just some organic mild salsa, and it's already partially used, but I would say about 1/3 of a jar. I literally just sprinkle on top the chicken and make sure that's on low and cover it. And I will do absolutely nothing to this chicken for like, let's see, it's 2, I won't even check it till 5 o'clock. So about 3 hours, it's just gonna cook on low. Check on my chicken because it's been cooking for about 3 hours. And it looks like it's ready to stir up, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, it's not quite ready to stir, but it's still pretty hard. It's not that tender yet. So I'm probably gonna give it like another 30 minutes and then try to shred it up. Because when it's ready to shred, all you have to do is stir it and it shreds the chicken. So we're gonna give it about another 30 minutes and then check it. Okay, I gave it another hour and it's doing much better. Sorry, it's hard to do this and film with one hand. If you don't have salsa, which sometimes I don't, I'll just chop up a tomato and chop up an onion and use that instead, and it works just as fine. I'm about to wash my produce for toppings, and this is just some veggie wash I got from Whole Foods a while back, and so I normally just use that. It's a poblano pepper, and if the kids weren't eating this, I would probably just chop it up and throw it in with the chicken. But since they're eating this and they have pretty sensitive tummies, this in half and then in strips, and I'm gonna roast it so that the adults that want it can just put some roasted pepper on their chicken tacos. And now I'm gonna get these in the oven. They have olive oil and sea salt, and I'm gonna roast them on 400. Now I'm gonna chop up my tomato and my avocado and just put them in bowls so that they are a topping option. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engage and use on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take that hot road and hop. Alright, my chicken's been in here cooking for another 30 minutes, so I'm gonna give it one more good stir. Once again, sorry for the shaky camera. It's completely done cooking. I'm just doing this to get it extra shredded, as finely shredded as I can. Peppers were a little overcooked, but my husband is telling me that they're perfect, so we're gonna go with that. I like to warm my tortillas just on the actual stove, plate, grill, whatever you call it. And I actually just cleaned my stove today, but that's just stained, so ignore that. But I just give it a couple seconds on each side. A little more on that side. I know you're hungry. You get to shut your burner off. And then I'm gonna give each kid half of this tortilla. Basically give the kids a deconstructed taco. Some cheese, some tortilla pieces, a little chicken, some tomatoes and avocado, and then some berries for dessert. Quinn's pretty picky. She would probably just pick at that and then eat the rest. But we still offer it because hoping one day she'll just eat it. Alright, then I'm just making a taco salad because I actually am, of course, trying to watch my diet, but I'm also just not very hungry. I had a big lunch. So I have salad, my chicken on top, some tomato, and I'm not a huge avocado person, but it's got good healthy fats, so I'm going to put 3 little pieces. And I'm going to take 1 or 2, probably just 1 of those chips that I bought and crush it up. Go a little bit of cheese on top and a little salt and pepper. And I'm actually not even going to use dressing because the chicken is pretty liquidy and has enough flavor that I really don't feel like I need dressing, so I'm just going to eat it like this. The point of this video was to show you 3 dinners that we love to make in our house that actually have some nutritional value that hopefully your picky eaters will eat. But these are 3 favorites in our house, so I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe below or comment. Let me know what you liked about this video or something you want to see in the future. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks. Bye, y'all.